What's up, bitches? I'm here chilling on the porch. Pretty day. Smoking a beautiful cigar. I have no clue what it is because it didn't say what it was. One of my brothers in smoke sent it to me forever ago, and he told me what it was, but I don't remember. But kind of got a review. I can do this. Icehouse. So, if you watched one of our last videos, sorry for the noise in the background, it's my air unit. The last few beer videos we did like Bush Ice and stuff like that. Well, since I've been getting more and more into actually trying beers instead of just drinking what I've always drank, I joined a few beer groups on Facebook, and one of which is like a cheapie. I think it's called Bad Beers or something like that. And it's a group dedicated to all of the beers out there that are what people would consider bad beers or garbage beers. Excuse me. But the us people that drink them like. Being in this group, for one, I noticed that I'm a fan of ice beers. I don't know why. Don't judge me. Or, yeah, I guess you could say I'm a fan. I prefer them over some beers. Anyway, I asked in the group at one point in time what other ice beers would they recommend, because my go-to so far has been the Bush Ice. And this Icehouse was on the list. Actually, got me a tall boy like a week or so ago when me and Grim went to the Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival, because I wanted a beer the night before. Just something to chill in the room and drink, you know, while I'm relaxing. And it was a cheapie. And it turned out it was pretty good. So, I got me a cheap 4-pack, because apparently they come in 4-packs around here. At Walmart for like $4 or $5, and that seems like a lot for what it is, but there are 4 of these, and it's an odd size because it's not a tall boy, but it's not a regular size can. It's like an in-between size. Before those for like $4 or $5 is not bad at all, and it's been a good go-to for me lately. For those of you out there that are beer drinkers and may or may not be scared to branch out of what you typically drink, because one of the reasons I like this channel, for me personally, because I've said this in the past, this channel is as much helpful for me as it is for you guys, because it's kind of like a video diary. I'm able to record my thoughts for future reference. And I noticed for me, a lot of things that happen typically is you find one beer that you like, whether it's at a barbecue or a family gathering or something, and you're like, I like this, and then you kind of just stick with it. And that was kind of me for a while. I was a Miller Lite guy for a while, which I still like Miller Lite, but I never branched out of that. If I went to the store, I wouldn't get anything else. Well, upon doing this channel, knowing that I'm going to review something and record it, not only for myself, but for you in the process, it makes me sometimes go to the store and pick stuff at random, just to kind of give it a chance, you know what I mean? Something I might not typically buy any other time. And through doing so, I've noticed that there's a lot more out there than I would have ever imagined. I mean, I know there's a lot out there, but you know what I mean. Like, again, most people that drink beer just kind of stay in their little bubble and they don't branch out. And one of which is the Moosehead beer that I had started drinking recently. Fantastic beer. But I'm starting to notice, now that my palate's changing, which beer I actually like. Like what I actually look for in a beer. Because I'm not really one of those water beer kind of people. You know what I mean? Like your Busch Lights and your natural lights. Like, I'll drink them if I've got them. Or if someone gives it to me. But that's like strictly just a super hot day. I need something cool and refreshing and I want a beer. Me, I look for a little bit bolder flavor in a beer. And I know a lot of people are going to sit here and say, well, you're drinking Icehouse. Like, okay. But if you actually, like, if your palate has adjusted and you actually sit down and A/B a lot of these beers, there's more flavor to them than you actually think. Because on paper, theoretically, for instance, Busch Ice should be more watery and less flavor than Busch Light. Not the case. I cannot stand Busch Light. I won't drink it. Hang on a second. Sorry, dog was running off. Lay down. But yeah, it's not the case. And furthermore, a lot of people kind of tend to stay away from those beers because they're the cheapies that, excuse me, are associated with being like poor and a wino and homeless, and you know what I mean, like those crappy beers. So a lot of people tend to stay away from them. But when you actually do like we do and A/B these side by side, there's sometimes a huge difference. And Icehouse is one of those beers. It's more on the side of a watery beer. When I say watery, I mean like not a lot of flavor, but there's flavor. And that's why I like it. Because I don't like Busch Light and Natural Light for the fact that it just, to me, tastes like water. It doesn't taste like beer. It tastes like carbonated water. And if I wanted carbonated water, I would drink Perrier or whatever the hell it's called. But I don't want that. But it has just enough beer flavor to make it interesting. And it's cheap. So, sorry I don't have my glass and stuff. I cracked one of these and we're not going into why I didn't do it because you already know. I'm lazy and didn't know I was going to do a video. But give them a try. The best thing I can recommend you do is do like I've been doing. Go to your local gas station, the ones that have the single sections. If you're lucky like me, you have one of those local, like I'm in the country. So I have a local gas station that anytime, kind of like Ingles does it too sometimes. Anytime they get beer in or something and say like a case comes damaged and like 2 or 3 cans are bad, they'll take the cans out and sell the cans separately for like 50 cents a can. Same thing with the bottles. So sometimes you can go in there and they'll have a random beer you've been wanting to try that's like 10-15 bucks for a pack, and you're like, I'm not paying that to try it. Well, now you can go over there for 50 cents or $1 and try it. And that's what I've been doing. And then of course you've got your tall boy section that most gas stations have. Ooh, that was some lightning. And you can do that as well. And it's worth a try because, excuse me, more times than not, this has been the case. I've went and got a beer. Wasn't expecting much. It was like $1, $2, something like that. Just to find out. and ended up being something that now is a go-to for me. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. Um, I probably should have changed the name of the channel to the Recommend Guys, but I'm not great when it comes to flavor notes on beers yet. Plus, there's not a lot going on to where I can be like, this tastes like this. It just kind of tastes like a beer. If I really had to explain it, it's like an in-between of Busch Light and Miller Lite. Or even Busch Light and Miller. Like, it's got kind of like that Miller profile. I guess it's like bready or whatever. But it's not anywhere near as light as a Busch Light. It's crushable like a Busch Light. But there's more flavor than a Busch Light. And it's not as heavy and as flavorful as a Miller. It's right in between. Which to me is perfect, because I'm one of those weird people that... Calm down. He doesn't like thunder. I'm one of those weird people that I overanalyze everything. I think it's because of my autism and my ADHD. I'm not cool with just doing the one thing. Like, I'm one of those people that I try multiple things and then I set it. It's okay. I set them depending on what they're for, if that makes any sense. Like, I'll have this beer that I drink for this occasion and this beer for this occasion. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm outside and it's hot and I just want something crushable, this is what I'm grabbing. Or like a Hams. And then I have I'm sitting in the house beer that's completely different. Something that I might spend a little bit more money on, but I'm going to sip it and enjoy it. Then I have that, which is usually the Moosehead for me, or a Guinness or something like that. I have different distinctive beers for different things. I think we about to get stoned. And through me doing these reviews, it's kind of helped me get to that point. Because like I said, I've been a Miller Lite guy forever. And I would drink beer, but not all that much. Like if I was hanging out with friends at a barbecue or something, I might grab me like a 12-pack. And then just take it and sip on them while I'm there. And that's about it. Now that I have these set beers for set things, I almost, in my mind, look forward to certain things because I know I'm going to have a beer that's kind of paired with it. Kind of in the same sense that you might pair a beer or a wine with a certain meal. Oh, I'm going to drink a red wine with a steak, so now you're looking forward to it. Kind of like that, but more redneck. You know, I've got the beer of choice that I'm going to drink on a fall night with a bonfire. I've got the beer of choice I'm going to drink while I'm grilling out. I've got the beer of choice that I'm going to drink while I'm sitting my fat ass on the couch. Stuff like that. But basically the gist of what I'm saying is, get out there and try some different beers. Like I said, the best thing I could recommend you do, take like 10, 20 bucks, go to the crappiest gas station you can find. And I say this because most cases the crappy super ghetto gas stations are the ones that have the biggest selection. Either that or like Frugal McDougal's or what is it called? Something wine, Total Wine, I think. They have the bigger selections of single beers. Because before you go out and spend $10, $20 on a pack or a case, and you get a lot of one beer, you can spend the same amount and get multiple beers and sit down and A/B them. And instead of just sitting there like everybody else does in their little bubble and saying, this is the only beer I'm ever going to drink. Try new things. Because I have been proven wrong more than once. It's starting to rain. It's starting to get louder. So I'm going to get off here. I don't even know if you can hear me because my dumbass is probably covering the mic. But yeah, recommend the Icehouse. It's pretty good for what it is. Next video.